Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome to the semi-finals of the WCS Season 2 final tournament. And we are really getting stuck into it now. We are up to the best of the best of the absolute best in basically all of Starcraft 2 at this point. So, let's have a look at our first two semi-finalists. Down the bottom left side of the map, it is, of course, going to be Jaedong. It would not be a high-level Starcraft 2 tournament without an insane Zerg player somewhere in there. And Jaedong is one of the most insane Zerg players we have ever seen. And up the top left side of the map, we do have our red Protoss player, First. And First is a relative unknown, at least as far as my casting experience is concerned, which doesn't really say much, but still, we haven't really seen him in anything leading up to this. And yeah, he blew me away quite literally in these quarterfinals, facing odds against Alive, another player I hadn't really seen too much of, but First did an awesome job and managed to get him down in, actually it took the entire series of 5 games, but yeah, eventually he did get him down. Mostly Colossus and High Templar play with a lot of Storms, a lot of Colossus, and a lot of Zealot Harass. Zealot Harass all over the place. Alive managing to get back in 2 games, just using Triple M and Ghost Viking stuff. That was pretty much the name of the game in every single game. Triple M and Ghost Viking versus Storms and Colossus and all that other fun sort of stuff. But yeah, in the end, First took out the final game. Absolutely epic. And now he's in the semi-finals. And of course, Jaedong, yeah, he was actually against a Protoss player in the quarterfinals as well, Naniwa, and did some of the most insane plays I've ever seen. Game 1, pretty typical Roach, Hydra, Corruptor versus the Colossus player of Naniwa. Won there, it's beautiful. Second game, he actually did a Swarm Host and Nidus Canal play and managed to completely overwhelm Naniwa at like the 12-minute mark or something like that. He got a Nidus Worm up, and he just got Swarm Host, and that was basically it. Just a bunch of Lings and Swarm Hosts, and just besieged Naniwa really early on. And there was nothing Naniwa could do about that. I don't know if there's any sort of defense for that play, to be honest. He did drop down in game number 3 against Naniwa with, he was going Ling Hydra Muda, which is a very interesting combination of units, which unfortunately did not quite work. Versus Naniwa, he had Void Rays and Archons, which is always a crazy composition. And yeah, in the 4th game, Jaedong just finished it off. Hydra Infesta, which I thought was another very interesting combination, but he made it work. Once again, going off against Void Rays and Phoenix and all that other sort of fun Protoss stuff, but got in there and got it done. So now we are going to be moving on, and I thought I had a drink somewhere, but actually, let me just run back and see if I can find it. 1 second. Alright, we are back, and I could not find my drink, so I got another one. Bit of lemonade, Schweppes, whatever it is. Yeah. Usually don't try and have too many cans of soft drink during the day, but yeah, unfortunately I am using XSplit, and it doesn't have pause functionality, and I'm too lazy to go into any sort of video editing and sort of plunk them together. So we'll just have to deal with that pause, I guess. And hopefully there was something interesting going on in the screen while I was running away, but yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. So let's have a look what is going on in this game. We do have speed coming on for Jaedong, as well as a bunch of Lings. It's going to be nice, but he's not really going to be able to do anything. I suppose it's still really early game in the early days of the game, and Stargate on the way. Maybe for Oracle harassment, maybe for Phoenix harassment. Although First did use a lot of Void Ray plays. Wait, sorry, that was Naniwa. What am I talking about? He didn't really do any Void Ray plays, actually, so he's, yeah, just going for some Phoenix harassed, wipe out some Overlords, maybe. This poor Overlord, man. The rally point is like right there. I think is he chrono boosting this as well? I can't tell. But yeah, this Overlord is just going to be, whoa, not having a very, very good day at all. But Jaedong is having a pretty good day, taking this little guy out, and that probe is not going to last very long. There he goes. Boom. So pretty good. He's got his third base out. If we have a look at the economy tab, he's 6 workers ahead, 7 workers ahead. He's got 8 on the way though, so that's going to put him at a nice advantage. Definitely as a Zerg, you do not want to be anywhere close to the worker number that your opponent has. You want to have a nice gap. 10 to 15 is a nice gap to have. And yeah, really, really nice. So a couple of Phoenix coming around. They do have a Queen. They've got to lift up the Queen, but not enough firepower to kill that. And the Spore Crawler is going to be up any second. So there we go. And they're going to have to run for it. Now, what do we got? We got a Spore Crawler coming up here. Another one coming up there. So it should be fine. 3 Phoenix on the map now. Potentially enough DPS to kill a Queen in 1 or 2 tries. But they're just going to be knocking out these guys. And the Queen is going to be having a crack at the Phoenix. Phoenix just going to be run away. And I haven't even opened my drink yet. So that is a beautiful sound. I don't know if it got picked up by the microphone. Because it's one of those microphones which is very sort of long cylinder sort of thing. And it's not... The mesh bit is not really open all over the place. It's sort of pointed in a specific direction. Although there are open mesh bits on the side. So, wow. But a bunch of Lings coming in here and sort of getting owned all over the place. So, Jaedong going for early Ling offensive. He's got 30 more Lings. 34. I do not know what his plan is. Because, I mean, there's sentries all over the place. There's Zerglings all over the place. He does not have a Baling Nest. So that's not going to help him too much. And yeah, he's going massive Ling against the Protoss player. And I do not know if it's going to work. Because Force Fields, I mean, they do so well. Yeah, he is going for an Infestation Pit. So he's got... This is not his only plan. This is not the only plan of Jaedong. He's got another plan as well. There he goes, swarming around. The sentries mainly able to defend themselves. And it's just going to be the Zealots left over. Warping in some more guys, and I feel like First is going to send this off once again. But more Lings actually coming in, reinforcing in. There's a gateway coming down, so this is starting to look like it's not going to work for First, like he's going to get taken out. There we go, sentries are all out of energy, so all this stuff getting cancelled. And that was a lot invested in those Lings. And most of them still managed to survive, so that's pretty good. And that's actually an interesting thing to try and counter as a Protoss player, because Stalkers are not gonna fool. What the freaking hell is going on here? Bunch of Lings, man. How can he possibly think he can get into this base with a bunch of Lings? I mean, alright, fair enough, there's not that much DPS at the back. It is like 7, 8 sentries back here to just swarm everything over. He's trying to get a Colossus out ASAP. Let's hope the rally point is behind this wall. No, stay in the wall. Stay in the wall. God, what do you do? Not move out First. This is where he loses the game. Right here, this is where he loses the game. It doesn't matter if he's got a Colossus or not, he's just going to swarm everything. Please tell me you're going to block this gate up. His whole army is going to get destroyed here. It's just one sentry trying to force field. It does not work. And everything dies right there. Absolutely everything. He's killing a lot of Lings though, I'll give him that. He's killing a lot of Lings. He's got the Zealots up against the building Nexus. Bunch more Zealots coming out. And First gonna sort of drive this off. I mean, it's a ton of Lings, but Lings against Zealots just... it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And a whole lot of Lings are being killed right now. And, I mean, the fact that Jaedong has just got 2 weapons and 2 armor finished 4 Lings... And it's like the 13-minute mark, getting level 2 upgrades finished at the 13-minute mark is almost unheard of. So he seems fairly committed to the Ling way of life, and he's gonna get this Nexus destroyed. That was not a cancel, that was a destruction. But as this game progresses, Lings are gonna be less and less viable, and here we go. This is the plan. Ultra's on the way, level 3 upgrades, Ling speed on the way. And finally, the plan of Jaedong reveals itself, and all of the plays that First has been making, getting the Colossus out, getting the Zealots getting the Zealot legs out are all going to start to fall over, because what he needs is a ton of Stalkers and Immortals. Mainly Immortals to deal with the Ultras, because Colossus are going to do crap all. Zealots are just going to get shredded, and it's actually, yeah, it's quite funny, because I mean, the two things that the melee upgrades affect are Lings and Ultras. Ultras are good versus everything that Lings aren't, and Lings are good against everything that Colossus aren't. On one hand, the Immortals and the Stalkers get owned by the Lings, and on the other hand, the Zealots and the Colossus get owned by the Ultras. So it's absolutely flawless. It's absolutely perfect. But the problem is, Ultras are so expensive. They're like freaking insanely expensive. But fortunately, Jaedong does have a 4th base, and first is probably going to be like, oh shit, this is not going well. And we've got some infestors in just to make things interesting. So he's trying to get his upgrades on, and he's trying to get his stuff going, but I do not know, man. With this plan that Jaedong has coming out now, I do not know if first is going to have any idea what's hitting him. I mean, look at that. 3-3 is going to be finished by like the 17-minute mark. That is insane. Absolutely insane. And he's going to have a ton of Ultras. We've got 4 on the way. We've already got 5 out. There's 5 on the way. He is spending every spare cent he can manage to get Ultras out. And look at the Fungal. These guys, they don't have that much health, and with Queens hitting them, he's trying to kill an Infestor. No, I don't know if he managed to do it. I think he may have. But these guys all going down. Jaedong, of course, putting some Queens out with his army. He knows his anti-air is a little bit crappy, so putting some Queens out as well. On the creep, there so needs to be a Queen upgrade speed, so he can walk some sort of fast off the creep. But anyway, I don't think he has to worry too much about ground at this point. And first, madly trying to defend here. He's managed to get a few Mortals as well. He's managed to get some High Templar. They are not going to be able to do anything in this battle. Not against the Ultras. He's managed to actually choke them in. This is a beautiful choke right here. The Ultras trying to get in. They're choked up so bad, and even the Colossus are managing to do some stuff with 2 more Immortals here. I feel like this beautiful play of Jaedong has actually been pushed back. Our first pulling off a miracle right here. I could have sworn Ultras, 3-3 upgrades with the additional armor at that 17-minute mark. It's the fastest Ultras I have ever seen that have been fully upgraded. But first, managing to pull off a miracle with the Immortals. But now the Lings are on the field, and the Immortals are going to start to get taken out. And there goes the entire army. So Jaedong saw the Immortals, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to get some more Ultras out, and I'm going to get a crap load of Lings. And that is exactly what he did. Got a crap load of Lings, just pushed it out. And yeah, first just, he survived the first one. That was very, very impressive. I was extremely impressed with the way that first pushed off the first wave of Ultralisks. Got him so stuck off, just caught in that bottleneck. If I was Jaedong, and yeah, he probably should have pulled back at that point. When he saw the bottleneck, he's probably like, you know what? I should probably pull back. I'm getting slaughtered here. This is a bad place to attack. Run around, attack in this base instead, because it's going to take like 600-700 minerals to get another gate like that up. Or even just move over. I suppose there's a gate here as well. But yeah, alright, go around the other side. Attack this. Attack the rocks. You can take the rocks down in like 3 seconds with Ultras. And just open it up. Because the problem is, the Immortals were not, the Ultras were not attacking the buildings. Because they're on attack move. They were trying to attack the things through the buildings. And it just didn't work. They were just getting bottlenecked because they weren't attacking the buildings. And eventually he got this gateway down, but in the end it was just, he lost so many units. But coming straight back with Lings, and like I said, everything that counters Ultras can be countered by Lings as far as ground units go. So great job there by Jaedong getting the Lings out straight away. And that has been game 1. So once again, the unconventional but extremely effective play of Jaedong continues to roll on versus Protoss players, and now first is getting a taste of what it's like to go up against crazy players like Jaedong. So I wish him good luck, but I don't know, man. Jaedong is just so insane, and I would be, I don't know, I would not be surprised if Jaedong ends up in the grand final. But Anyway, moving on. Let's not count our chickens before they've hatched or whatever. Game number 2 coming up. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoy this game, and I hope you'll enjoy the next game as well. So stay tuned for that.